Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Olga is here. For those of you who haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the bell as well to get the latest notifications about the videos I post out there for you guys. And for my new subscribers and new friends, if you are under the impression that I might not be looking straight into the camera, I promise you I am. What you are noticing is my condition. I was born with optic nerve hypoplasia, and because of that I have involuntary movement of my eyes, which is called nystagmus. This is something I can't control. It's a physical condition, so that's why my eyes tend to wander. But I promise you I am looking at you straight into the camera. With all of that out of the way, today's video is going to be my thoughts on foundations that I have approved recently, and as I promised, I have gotten some requests from you guys, and I do appreciate when you leave me those types of comments that you would like to see a video, and I actually talked about that in my previous foundation reviews, of me following up on some of these foundations in terms of, am I still using the foundation? Is the foundation still good? Things like that. And I think this is like a perfect opportunity because that allows me to really follow up on something a lot of times on YouTube, and I don't mean to shade anybody. I don't have any bone to pick with anybody really. So, but I do notice this on YouTube. I see a lot of videos of first impressions. I do myself have videos of first impressions. What I do not see, however, is people following up on the product. I do understand why they don't. There is so many products coming out, and if you're a big beauty guru and a lot of this stuff coming to you in PR and all of that, and you review that, you just simply do not have enough time to put into this, to go back to some product that you reviewed a year ago. Now, that's great, but I still want to see those videos. I still want to see, hey, are you still using it? Do you still think that this foundation is good? Especially with foundations, it's problematic to review them. I want to review foundations, and I will be reviewing foundations on my channel. However, it is problematic because there is a couple of thoughts that I recently have been kind of thinking things over about foundations that I would like to address, and why sometimes people do not want to review foundations. The range of the foundation shade, well, it is not all-inclusive, which sucks, For example, lately my favorite foundation is the CoverGirl Healthy Elixir Vitalist 705 shade. When you go to the drugstore, there is only couple of shades of this foundation available, which upsets me greatly. The formula is actually amazing. So if they only had widened the range, it would be wonderful. I'm going to start with sharing with you a couple of my thoughts. We all get excited about things like eyeshadows because eyeshadow palettes are fun. You go to the store, something new comes out, you grab it, you buy it, you bring it home, you review it. It's wonderful. We did the swatches, the eyeshadows work, it's great. And we're kind of done. Like, you decide whether you love the palette, whether you hate the palette, whether you're ambivalent towards the palette. With foundations, we bring it home, we start using it. First week, I love it. I get the video done, I approve it in the video, I keep using it, and then about 2 months into it, I'm like, I don't care about the foundation anymore, or the foundation, for some reason, stopped working for me. I don't understand what happened. Or the foundation is causing me to break out. What is going on here? Yet I go back and I say, well, how could I have possibly reviewed something and approved it? It was so great. What did just happen? Because there is greater demands towards foundation versus eyeshadows or blushers or lipsticks. For instance, you will not be wearing the same eyeshadow, well, maybe you will be, but you will not be wearing the same style of eyeshadow day in, day out, every single day. Every single day you will be versatile, you'll be changing your eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is really optional. You don't have to have it on your face. Technically speaking, you don't have to have anything on your face. We're all beautiful just the way we are. But if you want to skip on the eyeshadow, you totally can. But let's say you want to wear foundation. Foundation is something you will be wearing on your face, and it's covering a significant portion of your face. So in a sense, subconsciously, what we really want from the foundation is for it to perform like our second skin. We're not maybe saying it like that. I want the foundation to be my second skin, but that's what we're thinking. Everybody has those demands. The demands on the product are very high because we want the standard for us when the foundation, as everything else, is produced for masses. Now, I will talk about a couple of foundations that I do still have, and a couple of them I don't use at all anymore. Maybe I will keep using them, maybe I'll consider using them. There's one foundation that I absolutely dislike, and I bought it from the brand that I love, and I thought I would love it. And I will talk about that in a second. So, going back to the second skin, we want the foundation to perform for us. For example, if I buy expensive foundation, let's say I get something like Flawless Fusion Ultra-Longwear by Laura Mercier. This is a great foundation. Everybody raves about this foundation. I raved about this foundation when I got it because it works. It is full coverage foundation. I understand that not everybody wants to have full coverage, but you can shear it down. You know, you don't have to wear full coverage foundation. It is beautiful. It conceals and it sits well on the skin. It blends into your skin. It doesn't seem to be clogging pores, or so this is what people say. And a lot of times I hear only good things about this foundation. And that's also how I felt when I got it. I was using it for non-stop. I was using it every single day. I would put it on. I put on foundation every single day, even if I don't leave the home, because I don't like my face without foundation, because I have quite a bit of acne scars from teenagehood and from the years when I didn't necessarily take care of my face, and things are clearing up, but it's taking time. So I would put on foundation every single day, and of course I do take it off in the evening. God forbid I do not go to bed in foundation. That's a no-no. Never do that, because you're clogging your pores and you're really not supposed to wear it for 24 hours. No matter what the bottle says. Even if the bottle says it's 24-hour foolproof foundation, it's 25 hours, I mean, it's Martian time foundation, that doesn't matter. Those are, in a sense, false claims. They're not healthy claims because you should not be wearing it for 25 hours or 28 hours. It's just not good. Not good for the skin. After using it for a couple of months, and you can see that I have used up a good amount of this foundation. This foundation started not looking so good on me, and I don't know what happened. I started noticing that I was breaking up right in this area right here. I don't want to blame this foundation for it, and I actually stopped using it for a whole different reason. I stopped using this foundation because of the pump. When you're trying to press the pump, I'm not gonna try doing it again. It is deadly. It squirts all over the place. It's just squirting all over the place. It's like a bad cat who decided to spray all over the place. I don't know, it makes messes everywhere, and I started breaking up. Also, I started noticing that my face kind of feels, towards the end of the day, it felt tired. I can't explain it. It almost seems to me, and I'm not a scientist, so please do not hold me to this claim, but to me, it seems like I've built some sort of resistance to foundation. I don't know how it is possible. Is it possible? You know, like take a medication and you take it for a while and then it no longer works for you. This is what happened with this foundation. I kid you not. I will try using it again in a while and let you know what happens, because I want to use it up. I still have a good amount in there, but it's like I built resistance to this foundation. I'm not using this at this present moment. Now, I was loving the GIORGIO Armani Luminous Silk Foundation right here, and I was using this with this Maestro Primer right here. I don't know if I was so much as loving this foundation or I thought that I loved it, because it is a luxury brand, and it felt good to be using something that cool, you know, like, ooh, this is a luxury brand. You know, I spent $60 on this, I spent like $60 on this, because I also have a belief that foundation works best with a primer that comes from the same brand for the same foundation. I am OCD like that. You don't have to use the same primer, meaning the primer from that brand, to that foundation. You can use some other primer that works for you. But what I do know is that some primers will not work with certain foundations. And that has to do with like different formulas of the foundation versus primer. One product could be oily, the other product could be watery. Oil and water don't mix very well. So that could be one reason. There could be other reasons. I'm not going to go into details, but basically I was using this exclusively, and then I don't know, I just stopped. Again, something happened. I used it for several months. There is still some amount left. The pump is actually really good on this one. I do love the composite. And then I just stopped using it. It's just sitting there as furniture on my vanity. That's it. So, let's go even further into the past. That's pre-YouTube. Prior to Kat Von D, I was always using Lancome foundations, but then I don't remember what happened with the shade that I was using. Either they were out a couple of times, I would go to Macy's and try to buy my Lancome shade, and they didn't have it and they had to order it. So at that point I was like, you know what, this is just not working for me. So I, at the time, went to Sephora and I bought Kat Von D Lock-It foundation and I bought the primer. I thought that this was really cool. Also, this foundation is in the wrong shade for me. I mean, it still works, but it's just too light. It almost is the right shade, but it's just too light. Like, I could tell when I put it on, I would have a very light face and then very dark neck, which is kind of wrong. That's not something you want to do. You kind of want to match it to more of the skin that you have going on your body. So these days I match it to my wrist. Like, if it works on my wrist, that's great, you know. But this was too light, and I know even why it happened, because I went to Sephora and I told the lady, I said, match me to a good foundation with Kat Von D Lock-It. Oh, and I want to be a little bit lighter. And she's like, okay, no problem. Well, that's what I got. So it's not that I was not matched correctly. For some reason back then, this was like a year and a half ago, I thought, I don't know why I thought that my foundation should be lighter than my natural face tone. I'm not using this right now. Why I'm not using it? It's a great foundation, but it is a tad drying. Even though it works great and everything, it's full coverage, towards the end of the day it tends to kind of look like it worked itself into these lines right here and has bunched up a little bit around my nose. But still, it's a great product. And I told you in the beginning of the video, I bought foundation from Inglot store. That big Inglot store which is in Forum Shops in Caesar's Palace. And I really thought that since I love Inglot eyeshadows, that I would definitely enjoy Inglot foundation. This is the Perfect Cover-Up foundation by Inglot, and this was matched to my skin tone. Everything is fine with the skin tone. Everything actually works, and the foundation looks beautiful. It has that same smell that all of the foundations have, which I can tolerate, but I'm not enchanted with the smell. But it has that same smell. Okay, fine. And I come home with this foundation and I start using it, and oh my god, as soon as I blended it in, it just emphasized everything on my face. My pores, everything. There is a reason why this never made it into the videos, because I just felt bad. Like, I knew that I was not going to approve this product. And I just, at the time, I was so excited about Inglot, and I just didn't want to make a negative video like that. I do not like this foundation. I kind of hate this foundation, you know, because it looks like I made out of little grainy pixels or some kind of, it's like you're looking at some bad video with like little snow or pixels on it. Everything that is wrong with my skin texture, it will emphasize horribly. So if you do have this, I really would like to hear from you guys. Like, if anybody has Inglot foundation, let me know in the comments. Have you tried it? And if it works for you, great. This is extremely personal stuff. It's not like by me disapproving something, I'm throwing it under the bus. I don't want you out there thinking, oh, she hates the brand. No, I love the brand, but every single brand might have a lot of great things and a couple of, you know, duds and whatnot. This is that situation for me. If it works for you, great. Maybe I just have that type of a skin that doesn't take this foundation very well. So this is like, you know, it's terrible. Now, let's move further. So the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup Foundation, this guy, recently reviewed by me. You know, I used it maybe once after that, and I'm planning to use it, but for some reason I'm just not using it. I mean, this one is a good product. There is nothing wrong with it. However, couple of things I don't like, and I probably have mentioned them in that video. There is no pump, and this one costs over $40. I'm sorry, you could have put a pump on, because with the pump, it seems to me like with the pump, the product stays fresh, better, no bacteria will go inside because it's in the pump. You can give it to a friend if it didn't work out for you. For example, I do have a friend with the same kind of a skin tone, and I could give her this if she wants, and like I could disinfect the pump and I could give this to her. You know, I don't feel bad. I will tell her, hey, this is used, this is by me. If it's okay with you, you can continue using. I can't really give this to her because it's just nasty. I mean, I certainly have not gone with a finger in there or anything like that. But just looking at it, the same thing with Wet n Wild foundation, by the way. From the drugstore, Wet n Wild foundation, the whole YouTube community is raving about it. What's up with that? I don't like it. The same problem, no pump, and they have that yucky stick that comes out that you use. Wow, this is turning into quite a negative video. I'm sorry, you guys. But not only is there this very pronounced smell of the foundation, I just don't like when there is no pump. Okay, and now, moving on to the foundation that I love. And you guys know this is like drilled into you by now. I absolutely love CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. When I bought this and reviewed it, I did not think much of it. It was just another product. It was just something that I picked off on the shelf in Walgreens, and I decided I'm going to review this and maybe I'll like it. I love it. Absolutely, hands down, no questions asked. I love this foundation, and this is a drugstore foundation. And to the point, so that some of you might think, she's just reviewing the product, but she's not using it. Well, here's the proof. The proof is in the pudding, you guys. This is my old bottle, you see? And let me just see if anything. See? Nothing pretty much is coming out. I mean, there is product in there, and you can certainly, which I have gone in there, and you could certainly do this and get the rest of the product out. I have repurchased. I would not repurchase the foundations I have shown you. And they're not bad products. I would still say that I stand by the approvals that I have given to Laura Mercier, because it works, it's a beautiful product, but longevity of the usage, that's what I want to see after these reviews. So I want you to tell me if you want to see on the eyeshadows or lipsticks, if I'm still using something, say, 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, am I repurchasing these things? I'm planning to make a video about the empties. And so do let me know if you want to see that, because what my goal here on YouTube is to provide to you the most genuine, honest information that I can. If I'm not using something, I'm not going to sit here in front of the camera and tell you, oh yeah, I love that product. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I refuse to do that. You're going to know firsthand if I'm using something or if I'm not using something. So, you know for the fact, I have repurchased this. This is the proof. This is how much I love this foundation. And this is what I also have come to terms. And I have decided I will continue reviewing foundations on this channel because new products will come out, and certainly there's nothing wrong in trying something new. I don't see any harm in that. You will always know if I have switched from this foundation to something else. I will report it to you guys. And my latest thing is that I'd rather go to the drugstore and buy foundation that is $11 or $12 versus $60 foundation. I am actually more interested in buying expensive eyeshadows because that's kind of harder to replicate. I mean, sure, you can find dupes at the drugstore and everything. With the eyeshadows, they are unique, and certain brands really have unique formulas and things, and really I kind of want to work with an eyeshadow and always have a positive experience with that instead of a negative experience. Oh, it doesn't work because it's cheap, no. But I just want to say that recently the drugstore formulas have really stepped it up. And in terms of the foundations, Maybelline, CoverGirl, if you love Wet n Wild, I don't like that foundation. But I understand and I respect the opinion of others that you guys love it. Go and get the drugstore foundation. I'm serious. There is absolutely no need to spend $60. I spent $60 on Giorgio Armani foundation and I was putting it on, and I don't know what really made me feel better about that foundation. The fact that I was putting a bougie foundation on, or the fact that it was actually a good foundation. You see, there is that first initial buyer's remorse. Well, I bought it, so I must use it. And there is the excitement because the product is actually excellent. If you want to splurge and like say, oh, I can't afford VZ-Art eyeshadows, then don't buy expensive foundation. Go to the drugstore, buy a couple of foundations, see which ones match you at home, try them at home, find out about their return policy. Most of those places will take it back even if you tried it. I actually found out in Walgreens, like I bought the wrong shadow. I bought the wrong shade of the foundation. I tried it at home. It didn't work out. I brought it back. I said, I'm sorry, it doesn't work out. I would like a refund. And they said, no problem. We'll take it back. Now, I don't abuse that policy. It's not like I will go to Walgreens, buy every day different products, try them at home, and then return them. That's called abuse in my mind. But when the rule exists and it's there to benefit the consumer, I think it's great. Now, eyeshadows. Absolutely fantastic eyeshadows right here. Color Drain. The Cheers to the Beauty. Absolutely fantastic palette. See, I know these eyeshadows are probably, or dupes are probably available elsewhere. Maybe I can find something like this at the drugstore. I don't want to. I want to have high-end, like highest pigment quality out there, outstanding performance in eyeshadows, because that's what excites me. And for my foundation, I want it to be second skin. And I'd rather go and buy something affordable in terms of foundation, because this is something I will be using every single day. Whereas with eyeshadows, one day I feel like VZ-Art, the other day I feel like Anastasia Beverly Hills, the other day I feel like Color Drain, the other day I feel like, Melt Cosmetics. That's all different stuff, and I'd rather save up my money for those types of exciting products. I'm not saying foundation is not exciting, but it doesn't have to be. What it has to do is always perform. Now, even the best foundations will not always perform. I just want to make a last point and then we will wrap this whole thing up. Because the conditions of our body could be changing. We mostly are made out of water after all. So, if you're dehydrated, that's going to change how your foundation layers. If you didn't sleep last night very well, maybe this will not perform very well. If you don't have good skincare routine, if I skipped on my skincare routine, maybe the foundation is not absorbed into the skin as well as it should be, because sometimes you're applying the makeup and you just can see that the person's face is not taking the product. So all of these things could change. Different humidity levels from one state to another state. Things like that will affect some of these things. Somebody who lives in Arizona might not find this a good foundation, might find some completely different foundation that works for them there because of the climate is different. If the climate is different, if the temperature, humidity, all of these things are different. And also, you just might not find that you want to wear foundation on a hot, muggy day anyway. Maybe no foundation will be perfect that day. Maybe even if you are inside, it will not be perfect. Maybe you want the foundation to work only for 4 hours, which is why you would be fine with some foundations that break apart and show demarcation in 8-hour period. These are all important things. And I just wanted to make a point out there that this is extremely personal choice. Something that doesn't work for me might work excellent for you. We all have different skins. And something that actually worked for me excellent a year ago might not work excellent for me because the chemistry inside of me is changing. Either I'm aging or maybe I'm going through some other changes in my body. It could be anything. It could be a sickness, it could be maturity, it could be any number of things. It could be a flu. And today I just don't feel like this foundation looks good on me. all of these things are variables, which is why having a good solid product is so important. Now, okay, so now you know. Now recently I have reviewed this Maybelline foundation. I do like this foundation. In fact, this is what I'm wearing on today. But my hand actually was trying to reach out for the Vitalist, and I made a decision to not, because I'm like, I'm wearing that all the time. I would rather try this because, again, I approved it and I like it. I still have a full bottle because I recently approved it and I just recently bought this product. So don't write me for it. This bottle is full. It was just recently purchased by me. But I put it on today. It is beautiful foundation. But I still love my CoverGirl Vitalist foundation. And my only demand, not just to CoverGirl, but to any other brand out there, I want brands to make more ranges of shades. And with all of that said, guys, do let me know in the comments if any one of you tried Inglot. Do you love it, hate it? And if you have tried any of these foundations, I would like to start the conversation going and hearing from some of you guys. If you want to know what I'm wearing on my face right now, I will tell you. I use this Viseart palette number 4. These are the mattes. I had applied this eyeshadow right here or all over my lid. And then I had gone in Grand Pro Volume 1 palette by Viseart. And then I had applied this black eyeshadow, kind of like framing my eyeball. So that's what I had done there. Then I had used Jordana pencils. These are from the drugstore. Absolutely love them. They're like $2 each. Perfect product. I always use Jordana pencils. In the waterline, I use Jordana pencil. I had gone into Kat Von D palette, and I had taken this shadow right here, and I had applied that. First I went into Too Faced glitter glue, and then I put this shadow right here, this metallic, as you can see, is beautiful, and I had kind of patted it onto my eyeball, and then I had gone into this shadow right here, and I put this into the corner, kind of like merging these two colors together, sort of creating dimension. I'm not done, I'm not done. And then for my blusher, I actually used this shadow right here in the Colored Rain palette, and I kind of put it here a little bit above my contour. And I did my contour today with the Anastasia Beverly Hills cream contouring kit that I got at Marshall's. Let me just reach for it. So this is what I use. I only really use this square right here. This is the darkest one, and I contoured with that, and then I kind of flicked it up with a brush to create kind of like a triangle right here. And for the highlighter, you guys, I also had used this one right here. For my lips today, guys, I have gone into this one right here, and this is the color that I'm wearing on my lips. Lately, I'm finding that I have more control over putting on the lipstick with the brush instead of the lipstick stick, you know, just taking lipstick and putting it all over. I just feel like I can do better work and I can create better better shape for my lips. So with all of that said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more follow-ups on approvals and things like that. And please subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to have you on my channel. And I will see you all in my next video, guys. I love you. Bye.